These are the ones that I cannot live without. I use day in and day out. And the first one I'm going to be sharing with you is my saw frame. Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Meet the Maker Mondays. I'm Sarah Harvell, the metalsmith and maker behind Rivetta Metalworks. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the tools that I absolutely cannot live without. I have tons of tools, as you can see some behind me. But these are the ones that I cannot live without. I use day in and day out. And the first one I'm going to be sharing with you is my saw frame. And I actually got this in 2010, and I've been using it since then. That rhymed. I didn't mean that to rhyme. That's cool. So let's come over to my bench and I'll show you a close-up of not only this beautiful tool, vintage at this point, right? But other tools that I cannot live without. So let's come over to my bench and I'll show you a close-up. All right, so here's a close-up of my absolute number one favorite tool that I can't live without. This is my saw frame from freshman year in college from 2010. And as you can see right there, it's my name that I wrote in Sharpie with the little fine tip Sharpie freshman year. So I love this saw frame. I've been using it since then. I do have a green lion saw frame. You're like, what is that? Is it green? Is it a lion? No, yes and no, no and yes. I'm getting over here for you. Hold one, please. It is this guy. So I love this one too. And I actually spray painted it purple because purple is my favorite color. And when I'm on workshops, it's easier for me to identify my tools if I mark them with my own brand colors. So I marked that in purple. I spray painted it. And I use both of these saw frames a lot. This one is really only my favorite because it's the first one I ever used. And this one, both of them are amazing. But what I really like about this is a German style saw frame. And it's a very old design. What I like about it is when you break a blade, sometimes it doesn't always break. Like sometimes it'll break down here, but then you have this whole rest of the length of the blade to use. And that's what this little wing nut right here is for. And that means you can slide this down and make it short and make a longer life out of your blades. So I like to use this for when I have some blade remnants. But this one, the Green Lion saw frame, is so good for sawing through really hard metal. And I mean thick gauges, brass, any gauge brass, because brass is hard to saw regardless. So I use these two interchangeably depending on what kind of metal I'm sawing from. All right, so let's go on to the next tool. All right, now let's talk pliers. There are so many pliers out there on earth, so many different styles of pliers. These are the ones I use the most. Now, this one. Oh, this one. I don't care what you do, what your profession is, if you're a maker, if you're an artist, I don't care what you do. You need to get one of these. So you're wondering, I mean, I hope y'all can see this enough. So what it is this is a round. It's round all the way around. And this is a flat. So it's like, hold on, let me get my round and my flat. So it's like these two pliers here got married, had a baby, and had this one. It is amazing. I use this for everything. And it is so great for forming ear wires, and it doesn't pinch the metal, it doesn't mar the metal, and you have this nice wide area right here for when you want to make beautiful curves when you're trying to make scroll work and wire. I love these. I use these all the time. Okay, so the next ones are my flat nose that are tapered. And I really love these because they are tapered. They're flat and they're tapered. They can get in between little spots, little places. They flatten my wire. I reach for these all the time. And my next one are my parallel action pliers. Look at these. They move parallel action at the same time. I use these. They're very strong. So I use these for thicker wire and for straightening wire out that even hammers have a hard time dealing with. So I really love these. I actually have 2 pairs of these. And I'll get out the other pair because I do put some masking tape. And that's a great way if you don't want your pliers to make a mark on your metal at all and you're really nervous about it, put some masking tape, blue painter's tape, whatever will work for you. But I use these a lot. So I actually have 2 pairs of these because sometimes I'll use them simultaneously. And I'll open up the jaws and use them and kind of torque really larger pieces of metal with these 2. So I use these a lot as well. So those are my favorite pliers. Okay, so the next set of tools I'm going to be talking about are my favorite hammers, the hammers I use all the time. So this one, everyone has this one. I mean, this is beginners. It's rawhide mallet. And I mean, everyone needs this. And I know it's a beginner's tool, but everyone absolutely needs this. So my professor in college, when she was teaching me, she always said, metal on metal makes a mar. So when you don't want to put a mark on your metal, you want to work harden it, flatten it out, dome it, whatever you want to do to it, it's great to have a rawhide mallet. So that way when you're hammering your metal, it doesn't make a mark and it makes it nice and smooth. Next one is my chasing hammer. Oh, I need this every day, all day, every day. I have a nice little, someone taught me to file a nice little finger rest right there. So my pointer finger rests right in there. So when I'm hammering, it's really comfortable. And so just take a round file or a half round file and file that little groove right there for your finger and customize it for you. But I absolutely love this tool. I need it all the time. I use the front for my chasing tools and then the back for just raising any area that I want domed out. So I use this all the time. All right, so next one is a shell forming tool. This is the anti-clastic tool or anti-clastic hammer. And I use this for texturing. I use it to make spiculums, my calla lily, leaves, all sorts of different forms. And I use this face and it's a little more narrow than this one, as hopefully you can see pretty well. And so this form is really nice for the calla lilies on that end. And then this end is, I use this a lot for texturing, especially when I make my ginkgo leaves. Okay, so let's move on to the next set of tools. Okay, next set of tools I'm going to be talking about are some odds and ends that I absolutely love. You always need a Sharpie. I don't know about y'all, but metalsmiths go through Sharpies like nobody's business. We use it to mark our metal where we want to saw it. And pro tip, if you want to know when your silver is annealed, put a Sharpie mark on it. And when the Sharpie mark disappears, that's when you know your silver is annealed and to not go beyond that. That way you don't overheat it. But yeah, Sharpie, we all need Sharpies and we destroy Sharpies. Oh, Sharpies don't live long in our studios. The next tool is files. So this is a very small file. This is a needle file. And we have all sorts of different types of needle files, round, square, triangle, but this one, and it's kind of hard to see, but one side is flat and one side is curved. And I use this all the time, and the tapered gets me into little groove areas. And it's not super, super fine, but it's not very rough. I call it my Goldilocks file that I use on everything. And this is a champagne cork. And what I like about it is when you have this file by itself, I'm going to take it out of the cork here, it really hurts my hand. When we're using it in our hand, it's like this in our palm, and that hurts after a while. And so it's great to put it in a wine cork, and it's a great way to recycle these. Great way to celebrate getting a new file cork, right? And it fits perfectly in your hand. It gives you nice leverage for when you're filing. Next one is my forming block. I absolutely love this block. It's my spiculum forming block. I use it a lot for my leaves for when I form them, my calla lilies, to give any kind of life to organic forms. So I use this a whole bunch. This one, this is an organizer that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's cheap. It has all these little compartments for little tiny things. Because as jewelers, metalsmiths, we know there are little things everywhere, just little odds and ends. And it's a great way to store your jump rings, your ear wires. I absolutely use this all the time. I have 2. And if you see this little hole in the middle, I only have 2, but I know a lot of people that they have multiples, and they'll actually put these and stack them on a dowel rod. And then some of them have stored it sideways. I'm not brave enough for that because sometimes I have a bad time of remembering to close these. But if you're good at remembering that, they have them on the side to where you can spin them, or have them stacked to where you can take them off. And if you have multiples, so I use this a lot, and that's a great way to organize your jewelry and your little odds and ends, and kind of remember what you have and what you don't have. So that's it for my tools for today. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Meet the Maker Mondays. I am Sarah Harvell, the metalsmith and maker behind Ravenna Metalworks. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And if you're on social, like, follow, and share.